New York Times says the time is now to eat people, in addition to ants, crickets, grubworms, termites, and cockroaches. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well, and peace and blessings on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the 144,000, a house of David, shalom. And to the great multitude, men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days, peace unto you. It's the brother Dama Agabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson. All right. This is from an article from Natural News. And hey, you heard the title, man. But the main part I want to focus on is New York Times says now it's time to eat people, which, these elites are 100% down for you people to commit cannibalism. All right. And these devils will do anything to make you bow down to this new world order and to, willingly come into this new beast system and get karagmaned up and get down with this this plan they have, for the near future, man. And yes, they plan on letting it get this bad out here. They plan on starving you people out to the point to where you will resort unto cannibalism. All right. And for 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this has been something that has happened in the history of the Israelites, which a lot of these other Israelite groups will shy away from, something that the Christian church won't go into, something that, they won't bring up or mention, to the fact that the Lord was so angry with Israel that he caused them to eat the flesh of their own children and to sodden and boil their children, in the siege, and then, the besieging of our cities from our enemies, mainly the Edom, the Edomites. And, hey, it happened during the time of the Romans. It's going to happen again, and this time all over again in this modern day Roman Empire. All right. And, hey, prophecy has to be fulfilled, and this is the nastiness of the scriptures that, we're not afraid to go into, because we understand that our people have to be warned before, this thing happens again. All right. Cannibalism is going to come back in style here in Babylon the Great. And you notice now, I was reading a couple articles. Now they're coming out with all these movies lately that are dealing with cannibalism. It's this new movie coming out. I can't think of the name of it, but it's going to be on Netflix, I think. And around the time of Thanksgiving, it's supposed to come out, where it's a movie that's basically, it's not all about cannibalism, but there's a scene in that movie where people are going to resort to cannibalism. All right. And there's been plenty of movies in the past that showed you this type of behavior. But, hey, art imitates life, as they say. And as we know, according to prophecy, especially with these coming food crises and the coming collapse of this society, that this will be a thing. All right. It just happened not even 2 years ago over there in what was that? One of those South America countries where they were eating the animals out of the zoos. And reportedly there was even resorting to cannibalism, man. I wouldn't be surprised if over there in Sri Lanka, if it hasn't gotten to that level yet. But in recent year and a half, cannibalism has been a thing in the earth. All right. And as far-fetched as it is, I think people don't want to believe it. It is going to happen here in America pretty soon. All right. It says the leftists and globalists seem to want nothing more than every American demented, sick, perverted, murder hungry, and cannibalistic. You see, and that's all part of these elites' plan. They're willing to take it that far to bring in this new world order. All right. You already see what, for those of us who have the eyes to see, we already see what they're doing around the world. We know how they're going to bring in this, this manufactured famine, man. All right. With this hyperinflation, with the collapse of the economy, them going into why the hell you think all these elites are preparing their own bunkers and their doomsday bunkers to hide out while chaos is completely unleashed on the soils, mainly here in America and all around the world, man. Why you think they're stacking up and, preserving themselves to ride out this time of chaos and collapse, while you people are left here to be, like I said, demented, sick, perverted, murder hungry, and cannibalistic, man. All right. We know that these things are going to happen because the scriptures say they're going to happen. All right. And this is part of the judgment that Israel had to face. And guess what? It's going to be a judgment that Israel is going to have to face again. All right. Let me get this really quick. Here we go. It happened again. This is in Deuteronomy 28 is dealing with the curses that were put upon our people, which we're still under these curses. And, we're about to enter into this phase once again, in these coming days of the time of Jacob's trouble. Read Daniel's 12th chapter. It's about to be a time on this earth that has never been since there ever been on this earth or in any nation. All right. This is about to be worse than any captivity that we've ever been into. And as we know through history, there's been captivities and sieges amongst our people when the enemy came in like a flood to where our people had to resort to eating their children and cannibalism, man. That's history as part of the scriptures, and that's history of the Israelites, man. And guess what? The Lord's going to make it happen again for the wicked of our people in these last days. What I want to be. I'll start here at the top. This is Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations that are on the earth. Oh no, that's not where I want. So let me where do I want to get? Where is this? Here we go. This is Deuteronomy 28:52. I'll start up here because this is dealing with the Edomites, all right? They did it before, and guess what? They're going to do it again in these last days. Deuteronomy, part of the curses, Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. We know that the eagle is symbolically representative of Esau, Edom. It says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee neither corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks, or the sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Here's the point. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. And Esau is about to do this all over again. Because remember, this is part of the curses. Now we know it's dealing with Esau, Edom, and it's happened throughout other captivities where, the Babylonians besieged us in our gates, the Persian, the Greeks and the Romans, and hey, in the modern day Romans, which are the Edomites, they're about to do it all over again, man. All right. And they already have, different particular executive orders and different, what would you call them? Like code names for these type of events that they're going to, besiege, mainly you, Jake, here in America, inside of your gates, man, in the near future. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And that can be compared to your modern day ghettos and your modern day hoods where all you, Jake, reside and live at. Esau's about to come in again like a flood. It says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body. Cannibalism, you see? The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. See? And that's what these elites are about to do, in the near future. Like I said, that's why they're getting their bunkers ready. That's why they're stashing their seeds and getting everything in order so that they can hide out as they, come down with that great wrath, man, and besiege you in your cities and turn off the lights and send in the military, gather you people up, man. They're bringing in this manufactured famine. They're going to collapse this economy. The money's not going to be worthless. You're going to be just left out here with no law and order. And he's going to allow you to just, be, every man for himself, survival of the fittest, while he's sitting back in his bunkers and waiting until you people are begging them for a new world order, man. So you're begging them to bring peace and order and a new economy and salvation and peace and safety, man. He's going to allow you people to just, go buck wild out here, man. All right. It says, the leftists and globalists seem to want nothing more than every American demented, sick, perverted, murder hungry, and cannibalistic. This becomes quite evident as Americans witness mainstream media now literally pushing for everyone to eat lab-made food, worm and bugs, and wait for it, each other. All right. And I think right now here in California in Los Angeles County, they're about to start using bio sludge inside of the water system, man, which is basically recycled water with a bunch of shit and piss and all manner of filth within it, and start serving it into the people, man. All right. on top of all the other filth that they're feeding these people, man. So they're setting this thing up, man, to where you people are going to be totally out of your minds, man. And let's not forget all of you compromised individuals who got uploaded with that, with that software, if you know what I'm talking about. So you top that on top of that on top of that. These people minds are going to be demented. They're going to be everything that I just read. Demented, sick, perverted, murder, hungry, cannibalistic, man. And we know that when these people lose everything, they're going to lose it, man. And these devils know, what happens to the human mind when they haven't eaten or drinking after a certain period of time. Cannibalism will be a normal thing, It says the New York Times is normalizing cannibalism as they squirm deeper into their rabbit hole after pushing this past spring for the now communist titled America to eat grubs and bugs. It says first it was, why aren't we eating more insects? And they're high in protein, low in cost, eco-friendly and tasty, and only in the West have we resisted them. This was the New York Times before they went all in for consuming our fellow Americans, which they just had that cunt. What's her name? That actress cunt. What the hell's her name? The little blonde chick, man. I can't think of her name right now. She used to be married to Tom Cruise. I can't think of her name. But, she was sitting there eating bugs and telling you how she likes to eat bugs and trying to make it be all sexy. And Nicole Kidman. Yeah, she was eating bugs, with her little fancy dress, trying to make it be all sexy and symbolizing that she was eating bugs with chopsticks, So they're already preparing you people for this, man. And next, what's on the agenda next is cannibalism. Like I said, they got current movies coming out where that's the theme of it. All right, so let me jump down to this point. It says, New York Times turns out cannibalism has a time and a place, which, they're not lying on that. Just like I just read in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Hey, when our enemies besieged us in our gates, you think of 70 AD and Masada, when the Romans shut off, when they surrounded Masada, they cut off the food from coming in, the water from anything from coming in and anything from going out, over a period of time. Israel resorted to cannibalism. First they ate the leaves, then they ate the leather off their belts. You had particular of them robbing and killing each other for food. You got the story of the Hebrew woman in the Josephus, to where she was a woman of great means, and those wicked Sakari niggas was basically going to her house day in and day out because she had food and taking her food, until eventually she got so pissed off that she boiled and ate her own son, and invited them in to have some. And she basically cursed them and said, the reason why I'm resorting to eating my child is because you bastards are coming in here and you're stealing the food and leaving me with no other choice but to eat my son. So therefore, hey, made me eating my son be upon your souls, man. And they got the hell up out of there. So it's not far-fetched, man. Hey, this has been a part of the history of Israel for our sins and transgressing against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And you'll be a damn fool to think that in these last days that the Lord's not going to have this judgment be brought down upon 2/3 of our wicked, disobedient, rebellious nation, man. It says, according to the left, men can get pregnant. The earth is getting so hot we need to block out the sun, and the times are so hard we need to eat people to survive, man. And this is just how out of touch and how wicked this earth has become in these last days. And it's basically all the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai before he ultimately takes Babylon out. He's going to allow all this perverseness and all of this craziness to happen, man. And mainly for two-thirds of our people, because they are still steadily trusting in America. They still trust in the system. They haven't repented. They're not going to come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and keep his law, statutes, and commandments and become obedient. They're going to continue to trust in Egypt until they can't trust in this place no more, man. It's going to be to their own destruction, to their own shame. And when they find themselves eating their children and eating each other to survive because they trusted in this place and their trust wasn't in the living power. It says because shows, and you know what? Matter of fact, let me get this precept to back up what I'm saying. All right. And that's why, when we're out here telling 2/3 of our people that that this is going to happen, that cannibalism is going to come back in style, they frown their mouth, they're scoffing, they mock, man. And they'll say, not here in America. It's not going to happen here, man. It's too resourceful. This the best country, the earth, the best country on the planet. We're always going to have. We're never going to be the have-nots. But little do they know, what these elites are setting up for this place to become a third world country. And that's why we've been telling you, Jake, pay attention to what's happening in Sri Lanka and in Argentina and these other places around the world where their economies and their money is becoming worthless, where the hyperinflation is kicking in, and they're not, and they don't have fuel and food coming in and resources, man. All right. It's all being orchestrated and set up, and eventually it's going to be here in America. This is Jeremiah 17:5. It says, thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from Yahweh. And that's 2/3 of our people. All right. They trust in man. They trust in Esau. They trust in America and Babylon and its military and its, and its financial situation. They don't think this place is ever going to go down or that it's ever going to be weakened. So they trust in this place, and they're not trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says, for he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness and in a salt land, and not inhabit it. Because that's what's ultimately going to happen to America, man. This place is going to be like the heath in the desert, which is mean like basically, like it's going to be like a unshaded place in the desert. All right. And it's just going to continuously beat down and wear you down and dehydrate you. And eventually you're going to just drop dead, man. All right. Because you're trusting in this man. But, it's not going to benefit you, because your trust needs to be in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, who can deliver you from these things, So that's why, when all hell is breaking loose and these people, are howling for vexation of spirit, when, they can't eat, they can't drink. But the men of the Lord are going to eat and drink and be merry. They're going to be howling for vexation of spirit, man. Then this place and your trust in it is going to be your shame. It's going to cause you to do things you would have never imagined, like resort to cannibalism, man. Drinking blood, eating your pet dog, going into your neighbor house and eating him if the situation calls for it, It says, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh, and whose hope is the Lord, who hope the Lord is, for he shall be as a tree planted by waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green. You see, so when others are going to be dying of famine and thirst and all manner of judgment is coming upon them, hey, those that trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the elect, are going to be like a tree planted by the waters. All right. You're going to be supplied. You're going to be fed. You're going to be nourished. You're going to be taken care of, man. And you're not going to see when the heat cometh, because the Lord is going to protect you from that heat. Hey, but when Esau brings the heat on Jake and this whole thing shuts down, hey, these Jakes are going to be out here defenseless and with no help, man. Totally given over into the elements and ultimately destroyed, man. It says, and she shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. You see? So the elect are going to be taken care of and delivered, man, and protected. But the rest of you, man, hey, the Lord's going to give you over unto the ways of your own doing. All right. It says, because shows and movies depict demon people eating human flesh, somehow the pandemic and climate change narratives are suddenly feeling the desire for all Americans to eat the kinfolk as part of the 3 square meals each day. Hey, and this is going to happen, man, in the near future. I read it already. It's already part of prophecy. This is part of the curses that's going to fall upon Israel and you people here in Babylon the Great, but mainly you rebellious Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says the fake world of social media has a torrent of new comments going viral, trying to justify and normalize cannibalism. Hey, and at the same time, I was just watching the up-and-coming elder Karatas in Vegas. Now they're trying to normalize pedophilia, man. So if they're willing to go that far to where kids can be a prey and a victim to grown-ass men, you don't think they're not going to normalize cannibalism? They're already normalizing, men becoming women, women becoming men, you have to, they want you to, if a person wants to be, referred to as a non-binary or a non-sexual being or a goddamn waffle, you got to accept it, man, and go along with it, man. So this place is just wacko world, man. And it's just spiraling more and more out of control, man. It says, I feel like the unthinkable has become the thinkable, and cannibalism is very much squarely in that category of unthinkable. One commenter posted, but really it's not, man. Hey, when desperate times call for desperate measures, man, hey, you'll be surprised what these people will do. And they'll do it anyway because yeah, remember, this is the most bugged out the people on the planet Earth has ever been. People are out there whacked out of their minds, man. These people are not operating on they're not playing with a full deck, man. A lot of these people are out here just totally just bugged out, man. And given the proper circumstances and the right amount of desperation, there's going to be no limit to how wild these people will get. The Lord's going to turn up the demons on these people, man. It says the New York Times style section recently published a piece called A Taste for Cannibalism, suggesting modern culture has brought us to this place where we seriously consider eating each other to save the world from sure destruction, which sounds like sure destruction in and of itself. The seriousness of the article in the New York Times explaining cannibalism having its time and place is alarming, which, they are right on that. Scriptures tell you that there's a time and a place for everything. But, in that scriptures in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, it don't tell you about cannibalism. But we know that, through different histories around in the world, when things got bad enough, that cannibalism did have its time. And guess what? It's going to have its time here in Babylon the Great. All you bitches with them BBWs and them big old fake asses, man. Hey, a lot of those asses are going to get feasted on when all hell breaks loose, man. When, the famine and great destruction upon this place, all you, a lot of you real fine women, you pretty women. Hey, a lot of these wild motherfuckers going to bon appetit on you, man. A lot of these children are going to get eaten and boiled and sodden, man, in the straits and in the siege where your enemies shall besiege you in all your gates, man. See, so if you don't have that hedge of protection from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, you're going to be given over unto these unthinkable scenarios, man. And guess what? The Lord's going to put the spirit on you to do it and to eat it, man. All right? It says, where was I? It says, the seriousness of the article in the New York Times explaining cannibalism having its time and place is alarming. Hey, it says, but then again, somewhat predictable as the Democrats of America keep spiraling down their dark hole of murder, mayhem, and perverted ways. Still, patriots of this country won't let them turn the whole thing into a socialist hellhole without a heck of a fight. Yeah, some of these Edomites are going to fight, but hey, it's going to be, prophecy is still going to be fulfilled, man. Cannibalism is still going to take place. These people are still going to lose their mind and go absolutely ape shit out here. They're going to be in that perplexity, as I did a video the other day, meaning that they're not going to know which way to turn. They're not going to have any answers. They're going to be without hope. They're going to constantly be walking in doubt. So therefore, they're going to be open and suggestible to any type of, emotion and action that needs to be taken, even cannibalism. It says, here's some of the tweets. It says, cannibalism has a time and a place. Some recent books, films, and shows suggest that the time is now, which is predictive programming. That's why they're putting it in these movies, because they're letting the people subconsciously see it over and over again to where when it's time, when it actually happens in real life, they're going to be desensitized to it, man. It's going to be, well, I got to survive. I got to do what I got to do. Hey, survival of the fittest. Guess what? In these people's mind, they're so bugged out that, hey, they're suggestible to these things, man. They don't have the spirit of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai within them. So therefore, hey, anything can be possible, man. All right. I guarantee you the last thing on the person's mind that is doing cannibalism is that they will be doing cannibalism, man. You see? It says, is it more? Who's this guy? Alexander Cortez, PhD, fitness, nutrition, and fat loss. It says, is it more racist to eat white people or black people? Do different ethnicities taste different? You see this shit? So they're already putting that shit out there, man. This is all predictive programming, man. And now you probably have these people are so weird, they'll be considering it. Well, I wonder what black people probably taste like this and black people probably taste like that and whatever, man. So they're already planting this seed and within the minds of these people that, this is going to become a thing someday. I mean, which it will. It says, is cannibalism indigenous science and unfairly demonized by white supremacy, patriarchy, systems of oppression? We need answers to these super relevant questions, you see? And these people, are so damn stupid that they'll fall for this shit. They'll fall right into it, and they'll and this is going to be the fucking new thing, man. This is going to be the new topic of conversation. If you had to eat particular so who would you eat? Well, I'd rather eat Johnny. He works out. He seems kind of fit. I think he'll have lean. His meat is kind of lean, so he'll probably taste not as bad as April because she's big, fat, overweight gargoyle. So these people they're out of their minds, man. But hey, this is where things are headed. It says, can the extreme liberals say Soylent Green without choking on their COVID mask? Must be why Democrats love abortions. Well, and that's another thing too. People have already eaten human meat. You got a thing called the aborted baby fetuses called what do they call it? Flavor enhancers, man. It's just a lot of these McDonald's meat burgers, some of these fast food burgers are already probably human meat without us knowing it, man. Man, it ain't no telling here in Babylon the Great the shit that we have eaten here, man. But now they're going to try to make cannibalism a normalized thing, and there might be meat on the menu, man, because they're already using certain soils and stuff to where you had this one particular article I read like a few months back to where a lot of these people are getting, when their family members die, they'll have them cremated or some shit like that, and then they'll put the remains inside of their gardens to help fertilize their crops in their home garden, man. So, it ain't far-fetched, man. It says, even on the day of birth, to them, they're the future of food. Hey, you got that Soylent Green movie. You got that movie, the what's that shit called? The Snowpiercer, where they had them eating those little protein jellies was fucking ground up bugs and roaches and cockroaches. So, anything can be possible with these people, man. But that's why the trust in this place for our people, man, when all hell breaks loose, is going to be their demise, and it's going to be their shame. And they're going to be highly ashamed when they resort to eating their children and eating people, man. This is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with their covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, because they're ultimately in the spirit of Esau, Edom, in the spirit of Babylon. They're in the spirit of that broad gate, that broad way, man. All right? Because our people don't want to be corrected and take the counsel of the Heavenly Father. They love being rebellious. They love the do as thou wilt spirit. They love the vibration that America gives them, because they don't have to be held accountable for anything. They can eat, worship, say and do whatever the hell they want to do, really with no consequences, man. And they can be LG, they can be alphabet, they can be pedos, they can be weirdos, they can be, trannies, they can be whatever they want to be here in Babylon the Great, man. And that's why they love it here. So that's why this place is going to ultimately be to their shame when all hell breaks loose, because they always believed that this place would always be secure. They would always have comfort. They would always be able to, chase the bag and do the shit that they've been doing here without any repercussions. But hey, once these elites pull this plug, and he totally just leave these people out here to be given over to all these different elements and wickedness and violence, man, they're going to reconsider. Then, they're going to realize that your trust in this place is going to be to your own destruction, man. It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and trust in the shadow of Egypt. You see? And that's 2/3 of our people. They have totally taken on the form of this place, all of the rebellion, the witchcraft, the wickedness, they boast, they're prideful. A lot of our people don't even believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They don't believe in God anymore. They don't believe in the Bible. They just believe in, science and I'm spiritual and believe in all manner of wickedness, man. And that's, where they have put their trust, man. So that's why, man, when this system falls, man, all their hope and their faith, them thinking that they're going to be here, another 20, 30 years, and they're going to see their sons graduate, they're going to get married and do all of these stupid things, man. But when that plug is pulled and the system totally collapses, man, these people are going to be totally lost in the sauce, man, given over unto any and every wicked and vile spirit out here, man. And then they're going to try to call upon the Lord. Then they're going to try to want answers, but it's not going to be any answers given unto them, man, but judgment and death from on high. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Yeah, that perplexity, man. It's going to be to your confusion. You're not going to have any answers, man. And you're going to end up committing the gravest sin, which is getting karagmad up and thinking that Esau is going to have the answer for peace and safety and comfort. And, he's going to bring you back to life as you knew it with a whole bunch of futuristic technological goodies, man. But it's all going to be in vain, and it's all going to be, a death unto you when Yahweh Shai returns, man. So, with that, I just want to just go into this quick lesson, man. Just shows you that, hey, man, Esau's about to bring this, he about to bring cannibalism back in a major way, man. And a lot of people are not ready. They're not, paying attention, and that's why they're going to get caught off guard, man. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call hello, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me and do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Into the next one, Shalom.